people think that core stability is one thing, and then other people think it's another. So it is a confusing concept. If someone says to you, Paul, what's core stability? What's stability? Why is it important? What do you say?
It's a really important point, and there is huge misconception. And one of the things I think is fundamental is, to me, the idea of core stability is all about optimal control. And one of the problems is that people use it to interpret reduction of movement. So the idea is that you make someone more stable by taking movement away. So lots of exercise programs are then designed around asking people to stop moving. But when you really think about it in biomechanical terms, and you really think about it from a physiological perspective, core stability or stability is really about optimal control, and that's finding the balance between movement and stiffness. If you think about running, the last thing you'd want is for someone to not move their spine or pelvis. So if you want someone to have optimal stability or optimal control of their spine and pelvis when they're running, you need to have some movement. You need to have movement to do some shock absorption. You need to have movement to be able to transfer load through the body. You need to be able to have movement to optimize the energy expenditure. So core stability is really about optimal control, finding the right balance between movement and stiffness. So every function is slightly different in how much movement and stiffness you need, but core stability and optimal control is really about finding the balance between those two. A lot of the work that we've done has been focused on a couple of muscles, and the misconception that comes from that is that the idea that maybe we believe they're more important than others, and people often talk about muscles as stability muscles. And I think, to me, the most important thing to gain from what we understand about how the spine is controlled is that all muscles are important and necessary to meet functional demands. So you can't just have one muscle. You can't just rely on one muscle to provide control. And they're all important. In every function, you'll have a whole orchestra of muscles involved, and different muscles clearly do different things because they've got different mechanical advantages, different anatomical attachments, different relationships to other functions. For example, some of the muscles of your trunk help you breathe as well as help control you. And there isn't one muscle that magically makes you stable. There's muscles that are very good at producing and controlling torques. There's muscles that are very good at controlling what's happening at the segmental level, and all of those things need to be happily married together to have optimal control. So to get this balance between movement and stiffness, you need this orchestra to work. So there's deep muscles that we often get credited to having spent a lot of time researching, like the transversus and the multifidi. They are important, but as part of a team. So it isn't a simple solution of exercise a single muscle and everyone will get better. There's far more to it than that.